Fucking dry skin. It's the time of year, but it is that time of year. Oh shit! I don't have my watch, but as far as I know, I think it's Friday, February 24th. I'm almost 100% sure of that. And it's time to build this Lester Kasai. I am 100% sure about that. Yeah, so I've just been kind of, putting the parts together, trying to get my head in the right space to be able to put this thing together, and make it cool and have it look like totally righteous. And, I wanted to try to make it, more period correct. I had like some conversations with people about that. Not so much about this period, but from other, like building setups, and especially when you throw a classic together, is like from that era. But in this case, it's not going to be period correct. It's just going to be whatever, which I think is cool too. But I do want to build a period, start like maybe one like sick period correct board in the next couple ones that I build. So we'll see if I can, somehow wrap my head around trying to figure out all those parts and everything like that. But just for this, man, I got to stay focused on what's happening. Yeah, it's the tracker, Lester. I took some pictures of it, man, and posted it up. It really photographs really well. The red and the blue really pop off really well, man. It's sick. I'm pretty sure I picked this one, based on the shape. I don't have anything that's shaped like that, with that style nose. It's 10.5, I think, at its widest point. And then it's 30.5 nose to tail. But yeah, the oak leaf looks sick, man. It just does. The graphic is sick. It's got the Ankh in there, which is dope. Lester stuff has always looked cool. I saw IG post too of one that he's doing recently, reissuing like a limited number, 150 of them or something like that. But it's white and it has a oak leaf that's done in like watercolor, which looks pretty tight. But this is the one I got in my hands currently, so this one's right here. This is the hit. But yeah, it's a sick color, it's a sick graphic, and it's most importantly a sick shape. I think that's why I chose it, because of the shape. Right on. But yeah, I'm stoked on the whole fit, the whole finish. It's from Select's website, so it's made in the U.S. You know how they do. They've been doing it for a long time. Thinking about like period correct, I think from this era, probably would have been, Lester would have been on Bones maybe, or maybe his own wheel-on tracker marbles, which I think were the same as the Blur or whatever. But yeah, we'll get a better look at it. Yeah, actually looks really good. The paint looks really good. I don't know if you can tell. Definitely hitting. The red is popping really well. No issues with the graphic at all. The screen looks really tight. There's no scarring or anything like that. It looks fucking pimp, dude, for real. It looks badass. And I know I just built that MG back up, and it had a whole bunch of red and black and white. So this one's kind of feeling like similar, but still feeling like different. But it is going to share some similarities with that MG build I just did. So yeah, what I'm going to put on it, I grabbed these rails at the same time I actually grabbed the board. The blue is slightly different, but I think it works fairly well. It's a Psycho skate rail. Like I said, I picked these up whenever I got this board. So I think they'll go on there well. I don't think that they're going to throw anything off with that blue. In all honesty, it's going to be a mix of blue colors anyway. And I actually have a set of white Psycho skate rails too, which I'm going to put on there before I screw these on, just to check, man. Because I don't know, you never know. You might want to make a last second decision. You take a risk. throw a little different variety at it. It's a spice of life, choice and option, right? You know. So yeah, Psycho Skate rails. They're going to be blue, or they could potentially be white. Who knows? Maybe. Got another set of Spitfire Classics. These are 56. I wanted smaller wheels on here because, like I said, I've been building a lot of stuff that has 60 millimeter wheels or bigger. So I kind of just want to roll it back down to the common size. 56 is supposed to be the most common size. These are the Classics again. These are. Let's see, what are these? 99. So they're a little bit hard. Well, they're still under 100. So they're softer than what I've been putting on those 101s and things like that. When I put like those OJ's Elites, those are harder wheels. But I wanted to get under 100. That's why I put those Street Razors on that Jason Jesse. So I want some softer wheels to roll around on. The park at Boyce isn't as kind as it once was and isn't as smooth. So softer wheels definitely booming while we're out there. So that's kind of why I chose something a little less than 101. But also the blue, man. Again, coming back with that blue. That's a hit right there. It looks really good. I mean, it's pretty fucking matchy. I mean, it's dripping right now. It's pretty heavy. Yeah, so that. Also got some 1/4-inch rise since I went with the 56 wheel. I wanted a 1/4-inch rise. I feel like that rise at 56 performs the best for me. I know a lot of people say you just throw an 1/8 or you don't even have to put a rise on it with 56, but those people must ride like fucking tight trucks or something, man. Because if I put an 1/8 inch rise on this with 56 millimeter wheels, the way I have my trucks loose, I'm gonna get wheel bites. So yeah, got the blue there too. Kind of matches the rails more than it matches the actual blue on the board. But I don't think that's horrible. I think it could match up well in the long run. And I think it also complements this blue here so it doesn't look so off as this blue on the deck and the blue on the wheels matches so well. The riser and the rail match actually pretty well too. And to cap off the assets that I have in blue, I got the standard conical. These are the Indies. These are a medium, 92. So we'll see how it goes. You can see that blue too is really kind of matching up really well with the wheel and with the graphic. But I'm not sold on these Indy conicals, man. I've had several sets of them, and none of them actually worked out the way that I thought that they would. I'm kind of going with them because of the coloring and because I really want to give them a fair shot from a new standpoint, just to go and see what happens. In previous times, I've replaced older bushings on boards that I'd been riding a while and got used to the way that board felt and the bushings that were in it felt. And in some cases, those bushings were harder. A lot of times I ride those, you know, since I'm heavier, I'm 210 pounds, I ride a harder bushing. But when I would swap out to the conical and put a new bushing into a board that I've been previously riding and not changing anything else, I just experienced some lag, and my adjustment period, not necessarily adjustment period, but the fact that I'd gotten used to the way that particular boards had ridden, you know, I just didn't really give these conicals a chance. I pulled them out and replaced them with whatever bushing I had in there initially. So yeah, I want to give these a chance from the start, see what they do from the jump. I got some Shorty's hardware gonna drop in there too. This is 1.25 inch with the 1/4 inch rise. So I've been on some Shorty stuff. I've been seeing the Muska popping up in my Instagram feed. I don't know if he's still tied in with Shorty's or whatever, but I don't know, maybe a couple of cents is going his way off of that. Let's hope, so he can continue to be a farmer or whatever it is he's doing, which is pretty fucking cool. Bearings. You don't even have to ask Indy GP-Rs, man. All day, every day, except no substitute. Fast, serviceable, and durable. So the trucks I'm putting on here is the Tracker Access. I've had these for a while. They were actually on my Dogtown rat face. I put that Indy bar logo on that board now, but prior to those Indy bar logos, I had this Tracker Access, and I really actually like this truck a whole lot. It's got a hollow kingpin. It's fairly light. The base plate is hollow through the bottom, but I like the turn of this truck. It actually has a really good geometry. It actually turns really well. You know, I've had bones bushings in these, and I've skated on them for about a season. It's kind of why they're a little bit haggard, but they still have a ton of life left in them. So yeah, I mean, I guess if I had one thing to say, I wish I was going all the way brand new, but at the same time, I feel like it's a good mashup, the tracker trucks with the tracker board. Um, the tracker system here is going to be in place. But yeah, I mean, like I said, the truck turns really good. I think the trackers are decent quality. I got the bones bushing in there again. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna put the Indies in there just to get that kind of visual feel for it. If I dig it, I like the aesthetic. I want to, you know, like I said, I want to fuck with it just a little bit, ride it, see how it, you know, ultimately tastes. And if I decide to keep it that way, I'll keep it that way. But yeah, that's pretty much how the whole build is gonna go. And my level of stoke is probably at about an 8 or a 9. I'm really looking forward. Oh, grip tape, whatever I got in the box back there. It'll probably be Mob because Mob is usually what I order or what I add because you get most of the time you get some free grip tape if you order a deck or whatever. So I'm probably going to do Mob because that's usually what I have. I'm not going to do anything super special with the grip tape. I'm going to do some lines just up at the top, just the width. Probably since I'm going to use a 10-inch piece, so there's going to be 10-inch sections. And then I'm going to cut this out, just angle it. But I'm going to do, I've been seeing this kind of, I don't know what I would call it, like Venetian blind thing people have been doing, just straight lines across. You know, kind of looks like, I don't know, those stupid plastic sunglasses that people used to wear that had like lines across the front of them that was like vented down. Or those dumbass window louvers that you would see on people's like Chevy Cavalier in the 90s. You know, made your car look like it was super fast, but really, I don't even know. They were just like plastic. They had like, they stuck on the outside. That was, you know, some mod back then. But yeah, I'm going to do that. Run those blind lines across there. And it's just so that's kind of just creeping a little bit, just peeking out. So you can kind of see the top logo, but it's a little bit hidden. And I got a couple of stickers that I might throw another sticker, like a tracker sticker that I have on here and then kind of cover it. So we'll see. I'll make that decision, you know, because I was still thinking like, dude, people who know where to put stickers have their shit together. I have a whole box of stickers. I don't know where to put them. I don't know what to do with them. You know, it's ridiculous. I gotta think about that. Anyway, yeah, Lester. Spitfire Classics, 56. These are booming with that color match. Dogtown. These are hard block riser right here, not like the Visions. The Vision are softer again. They flex with the board. It's going to be a hard block, so it's not really going to flex all that much at all. So, but you see that blue kind of matches up with the rails. Vision, Psycho rails. Easy to install. That's I mean, they go on your board and you can board slide if you want, or protect your graphics. Where was I? Indy Conicals again, going off the color match on this one. But maybe, I don't know, if it looks good, maybe it rides good. You got to find out. You know, there's only one way. You got to get up to get down. In this case, and I'm planning on throwing them in there and seeing what happens. Shorties, 1 1/4. Drop these in there, just hold everything together. The GP-Rs. I mean, I can't say enough about how fast, serviceable, and durable this bearing is. Man, it's all day, every day for me. And I said that twice. Yeah, tracker access. Again, it's got a good turn. It's a smooth truck. I think the black will be all right on here. I don't think it's going to be bad. I think it'll look good. And I think it'll hold down this Lester really well. But we'll have to wait and see how the finished product comes out. You know? Yeah, dude, definitely. I never met anyone named. I knew a dude named John Lester. I worked with him at a steakhouse. I was a dishwasher. He worked on Expo. He was like an older dude, man. Yeah. He had a couple DUIs, did some time. I asked him to buy, me and this dude Sean that I washed dishes with. Sean was like my road dog for a minute. We hung out quite a bit together. We asked Lester to buy us some beer, John Lester, to buy us some beer one night. And it was like after hours, so all the distributors were closed, but he said he knew a spot, right? So he took us to this bar. He's like, dude, this guy, I know this guy. He'll side doors a couple of cases of beer. So he goes in, comes back out, pulls the car up around the side of the building. Dude comes out with 2 cases of Bush. It's like, dude, we don't want Bush beer. But at this point for me, it's like, I don't even know, but, you know, Bush. And I'm like, dude, is that all he's got? And Lester fucking turned toward me. John turns to me. He's like, dude, shut the fuck up. It's beer. And I was like, dude, goddamn. You know, but that's basically how the night started, you know. And then he asked, he's like, yo, what are you guys going to do? You guys going to drink some of these beers? And it's like, you know, yeah, that's why we got 2 cases. We're going to drink some beers. And John Lester says, yo, I know a spot. And he literally takes us to this parking lot outside of Raleigh, just a fucking parking lot. And there are people there like huffing glue and sharing like some cheap bottle of liquor. We pull up and he knows people there. We're like talking to him. Anyway, it turned out to be a pretty good time until, you know, some of the people that were doing glue got into a fight over ownership of like a 2.5 gallon gas can. I don't even know where the gas can came from. I don't know if the gas can was like being used to huff gas or if it was just there already and someone was like, I want to keep it. But anyway, we end up splitting. I'm like, yo, John, can you take us back to my car? And, you know, I'm going to go home. I got to take Sean home. I want to go home. So we end up going back to the car. And as we're on our way there, John Lester spots a fucking mailbox. He like slams on the brakes. This is like one of those blue, you know, like you put your mail in mailbox. He slams on the brakes and he's like, dude, that mailbox is open. And I go, dude, what the fuck? Why? What does that matter? And he like puts the car in reverse. He backs all the way up. He had like this Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme, like a 90s version of it. Not even the cool version, but like a 90s version of it. And he backs up to like probably about 10 feet away from the mailbox. He gets out of the car, goes over to the mailbox, like looks inside of it, like sneaky looks inside of it. He's like, oh, okay. Closes it back up, comes back to the car, shuts the car off, takes the keys out of the ignition, goes back to the trunk of the car, unlocks the trunk of the car, lifts the trunk of the car, then goes back to the mailbox, pulls the fucking bin out of the mailbox, and it's like one of those, you know, white sorting bins, like overflowing with letters, and he comes back, and he's like walking back, puts the bin in the trunk of his car, shuts the trunk of the car, comes back around, starts the car, shuts his door, and we take off. We're driving, and I'm sitting there, and Sean is in the backseat, and I'm just like, dude, what the fuck? Did you just steal that mail? And he goes, and John looks at me and he goes, yeah, I did. I stole that mail. And I'm still sitting there and I'm like, why? And instead of answering the question as to why he stole the mail, he like fucking turns on a cassette tape that he had in the fucking cassette deck. It was like Jethro Tull. He puts that on. Like, and he, you know, drove us the rest of the way back to my car and didn't even address the fact that he had just stolen a bunch of mail for whatever reason. So we pull up to my car and he cuts the Jethro Tull down and he goes, all right, guys, have a good night. And I'm like, dude, you got to tell me why you just took that mail. And he goes, fuck, dude, really? And I go, yeah, I need to know why you stole that mail. And he goes, I don't know. Maybe there's a birthday card or something like that in there with cash. And I'm just like, dude, you know, I'm young at this point. I'm 20 years old. It's like 26 years ago. I'm still like inquisitive. I'm not burnt out on the world yet. I want to know, like, why? And his justification is like, maybe there's a birthday card with cash in there. And I was like, dude, really? Like, do you think that there's, I mean, what are the chances that there's this many people around here that, you know, their grandmother is sending them a fucking birthday card? He said, well, I have no idea. And he's like, get the fuck out of my car. So dude snaps out. He kicks us out of the car. Then he fucking takes off. He spins off. He fucking takes off. And then he wheels back around to us, pulls right back up beside us, and he goes, hey, man, don't tell anybody about me stealing the mail. That's what he says to me before he splits. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to tell everybody I fucking know about you stealing the mail, Lester. I cannot believe that you fucking stole that mail, and I still don't have a good explanation as to why you stole it. So because I don't fully understand the circumstances of you stealing the mail, I'm probably going to talk about it later. And I didn't exactly say that. That wasn't verbatim what I said. Obviously, I've had some time to think about it. It's been 26 years. And I may have spiced the story up. Creative license. But I still don't understand why he stole that mail. But for me, him stealing that mail has been like, it's like a fucking comet or something. In 20 years, I'd never seen anyone steal mail. And 26 years past that, I've never seen anyone fucking steal any more mail. Not under those circumstances. You know, I don't fucking get it, man. I don't get it. I still don't get it. And I still want to know why. I'd like to know if he went home that night and like sat down in a chair and fucking opened every letter in that box. There had to be fucking 300, 400 letters in there, you know. He never told me about the haul that he got either. I don't know if he found like a check that he washed or whatever the fuck it was. It's crazy. But he did come back to work like 2 days later. I should have asked him more about it while he was at work. But I didn't even think about it. Actually, kind of slipped my mind after the day after. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to build this skateboard. So there's a, whatever that was. Yeah, time lapse, the whole thing. So, you know, that's how I do it. I got a system in place. I think it's pretty cool. So stick around if you want to. I'm going to do the build and then the review. I seen it. Yeah, I got one of those cardboard cutouts, like 5 foot tall or whatever. That's it. That's it. There's the Lester. So yeah, I had to go with the switch, man. I had to put those white rails on there. I put those blue ones on there. It wasn't a hit. Just wasn't a hit. You know what I mean? I had to rearrange it. Do that real quick. 1/4 inch white rise there. Had a soft pair of the Psycho risers. So I dropped those in there. These are Bones rails, by the way, so we already kind of got a little bit of a hodgepodge happening. But damn, bro, for real, look at the classics. And then look at the oak leaf. The classics. It hits. I didn't even, after I switched out the rails and the risers for the white color, I didn't even mess with those bushings. I didn't even think about like putting those blue bushings in there. Probably would have just been overload anyway. But I kept the bones, and I'm keeping the bones. That's all there is to it, because it just looks dope. And they perform well. I mean, if you have bones bushings and a medium, you already know. So there won't be that much of a transition here. I won't have some getting used to. I have to put something else on, or try those Indy Conicals on something else. I mean, because I definitely want to do that, but irregardless. This is where it's at, man. I really dig how it came out, man. Oh, and grip tape. There's that Venetian blind. Excuse me, I think something just came up. Sorry. There's that Venetian blind. Yeah. Now I'm lost on possibility that I just recorded myself laughing so hard snot came out of my nose. Hopefully it doesn't come out that way. But get the idea there. Get the idea there. The trackers look good. The wheels look good. The color is good, man. Shit is sick, dude. It's absolutely 100% sick. I dig it. Yeah, the blue's good. Actually, the trucks don't look all that bad being black. I think if they were polished or silver or whatever, I don't know that they would look as good as this. But man, the only problem I encountered was one of the screws in those rails was like stripped out already, so couldn't put it in there. I have to wait. I got another one somewhere. I'll drop in there just to tighten that up, make it look better, so it doesn't vibrate or rattle or anything like that. But nah, 100%. Spitfire Classics. That's a 56 right there. 99s. Tracker Access. Great turning truck. You know, these are a little bit used, but for the purposes of this video, it's going to work out good. Shorty's Hardware, 1.25 inch. Vans, or I'm sorry, not Vans. Vision, Psycho Skate, risers, 1/4 inch. Indy GP-Rs inside the classics. Again, went with the Bones rails. It came together really well. It looks really sick. Color looks good. Everything about it looks good. I mean, I'm kind of bumming because I don't have new trucks to put on there, but those trucks work, man. They'll get it done. And it's not that heavy. It's pretty lightweight. Feels balanced well. The red pops really well. I'm glad I actually had the white rails and the white risers. They look really good. I'm glad those wheels match up the way that they match up, because that center graphic doesn't, stand out on by itself. It's got an island to sit on, smaller one with that blue color. So, yeah, Lester Kasai, tracker deck, tracker access, Spitfire Classics, 56s, Indy GP-Rs, Bones bushings, Bones rails. This thing is sick, man. It came out really well. I'm really happy with the way February turned out. I'm glad I was able to assemble all these parts and make a 6-gate. I hope everybody's February went well. The weather's starting to break here in the Northeast. We get these like little flashes where it's really nice, and like Thursday it was 70 degrees or something like that, but then it cooled off again. But next week we're supposed to be just in that mid-comfortable like 50s during the day, and then potentially like low 30s at night, maybe high 20s. So it's still going to go below freezing or whatever, and there's still going to be some like frost heave, like a thaw freeze cycle. So that's to be expected though. But March is coming up, man. I think it's going to come in like quiet. I think that woodchuck was totally wrong, man. I mean, it said that we were going to have 6 more weeks of winter, so, but we're not even really close to all that. We're kind of like probably going to have spring at its normal time. What is that, like the 21st of March or something? So I'm stoked. I'm looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to March being the time when I get to build that Ken Park I've been scratching together some sick little parts for that, you know. Just got this custom kit that you can get from Thunder to customize your trucks. It has like an anodized blue washer cups for your bushings. It has anodized blue axle nuts. It's looking pretty sick, man. That thing should be super tight with the Thunders, with that custom kit, with the Grind King kingpins in it, bones, Power Mini Cubics. It's looking really good. So I'm excited to get that one going next month. Excited for warmer weather. What was that? Oh, that was the stereo cutting off. I hope that hissing wasn't like super loud from the speakers. I couldn't even hear it, man. But yeah, anyway, so something to look forward to next month. Hopefully that'll happen. Continue the streak of good luck. Hopefully the weather will hit up and get nice and be able to skate. Probably definitely Sunday I'll be out there. I was out there last Sunday. The spot was a little crowded, so but that's okay, man. You know, people are excited for it. They're, you know, coming to get down, and I'm totally cool with that. I did get to bomb the parking lot a little bit up there, so I was happy to be able to get out and actually make some turns on the longboard. I like to film some of that stuff to see if it's like cool, if it translates well into actually posting. I don't know if it does. I've seen like those Filipino chicks do like longboard tricks where they just like kick the board up in the air and it spins all around and shit. That's pretty tight, but that's not even like relatively close to the type of longboard skating I do. So I don't know if like cruising will translate, but it's only one way to find out. Plus I got that slalom set up. I really want to make some videos about that slalom setup. So yeah, man, I got some stuff I want to do, or at least try to do, and I want to continue to build skateboards, so, you know, that's going to definitely happen. But yeah, hope you stayed, hope you checked it out. Most importantly, I hope everybody's fucking doing well, man, you know. Everything's okay. It's not as messed up as it seems to be, I think. I think this is going to be, we'll probably get nuked, but I think this is going to be a really good time over the next 6 to 8 months. It's going to be a really good summer, favorable for everyone. I don't know how I know that, but I feel like I know. Yeah. So, yeah, look for that Ken Park build in March, and then I'm going to build out that Alien Workshop. I'm going to try to get some Indy Stage 4s and put them on there, but this one's done. Lester Kasai, Tracker Trucks, Spitfire Wheels, Indy Bearings, Bones Bushings, Bones Rails, Psycho Skate Rises, Shorty's Hardware, the Venetian Blind Graphic, our grip tape job. I'm calling that right now as the coolest, but maybe not. Thanks for checking it out, and hopefully I'll be back soon. Peace.